Okay, well, greetings after roughly 2.5 years. I'm sorry I haven't been able to make any videos in all that time, but I have been busy with my business and trying to maintain 85 arcade games and 15 pinball machines, and coupled with a normal 9-to-5 job, and it just takes a lot of effort. I just haven't had time to really do much, and I apologize about that. I've gotten a lot of new subscribers in the last 2.5 years, even with no content. But that's about to change. So what I have here is an Area 51 that was originally Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I got this cabinet completely empty. It had no monitor, no bezel, it had no isolation transformer. Let's see, it has no piece of wood here to support the monitor, and that's because somebody at some point removed that to put in, I think, probably a bigger monitor or a monitor with a different frame, and they installed one of these deals on the top and the bottom. You know, one went here and one went up here, and they would use that to install their other monitor instead of just taking the frame off of the existing one and putting the new tube and whatever in the original frame. They installed this stuff and knocked this piece out and all that jazz. So I'm going to have to create a new shelf with some supports underneath, because I'm not going to try and get it stuck in here. I'm just going to glue it in place on the left and the right side, and I'm going to put some support pieces underneath it to support it so I can put the monitor back in. So I said I got this cabinet actually got it for free. I got a local friend who is an operator, and he's converted all of his machines to LCD, except for his gun games. His gun games obviously have to have a CRT still. So as payment for going to his place and fixing most of his monitors from time to time, he gave me this cabinet for free. So I got it for free just the way you see it. It had the control panel and the marquee and all this stuff, but it was completely empty otherwise. It has a power supply, and that's it. No isolation transformer. The JAMA harness is hacked up. It just needs a whole lot of work, cosmetic and everything, wiring and all that. So I got all that covered. Basically, I got the cabinet for free, and a couple of days later, he calls me and says, "Hey, I got a monitor you can have too." So he's got a buddy that gave him a couple of monitors, and it just so turns out that one of them is the original type, original K7000, original frame, original setup to run in a cabinet like this, in the Konami cabinet, to sit on this shelf. So he gave me this for free as well, as payment for helping him with his monitors all the time. And I'm not going to complain, because that was very generous of him. Free cabinet, free monitor. The board I got from a fellow collector in Kansas City, and I already tested it, and it works. Battletoads PCB. Right now it's dip switch set for 2 players, so I'm going to make a 3-player dip switch setting for the 3-player mode. And I'm going to have to create I may not have to create a whole new control panel. I may be able to just fill it with Bondo and drill new holes, but it's just going to be, player 1, player 2, and player 3. So I'm waiting on new artwork for all this project here, but I'm going to try and go ahead and knock the whole thing out as fast as I can, because I want to get it on the floor at the arcade. But that's basically it. So I also mentioned that it had a JAMA harness, but it's kind of hacked up because it was meant to be running Area 51. So fortunately, I need some disconnects, quick disconnects and all this stuff, because originally all you had to do was just take out the 2 buttons for player 1 start and player 2 start. It only had 2 buttons on the Area 51 control panel, as you can see over here. Button start 1 and start 2. So going back to a 3-player multi-joystick, multi-button setup, I need a new harness. Fortunately, I have a whole 15 years worth of collecting box of harnesses here. And like for instance, I've got a JAMA harness in here that came out of an MK2, I think, that has all the connectors on it, things like, this here. So I've got all the disconnects and the harnesses. I got all that covered. I got new joysticks, new joysticks, new buttons. What else is in here? Isolation transformers here, new green T molding. I got everything ready to go. So that's just really going to be it for the first party. I want to give an introduction as to what I'm going to be working on and what you can expect in the next few parts. This all has to be stripped down, torn down, completely sanded, painted. You can see here, it's like a midway cabinet with the 2 holes here and the 2 holes here that they use to put those brackets in for the monitor. I got to fill all that in, all the other cracks and creases, and this piece here is cracked. You really can't see it because I lost my light, sorry, but this piece here is cracked. So overall, it's not too bad, but it does need a lot of work. All these holes need filled and sanded and properly painted and all that jazz. So I'm gonna get this going. Stay tuned for more parts, and we'll see how it turns out. So thanks for still sticking with me after this 2.5-year hiatus. I appreciate it, and I guess that's it for now. So stay tuned and we'll see how this turns out.